Hi friends! Today we are going to make chocolate chip scones. So the first thing that I've already done is I washed my hands really well for 20 seconds. And the ingredients that we're going to use are flour, sugar, butter, baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And it calls for buttermilk, and instead of using buttermilk, I just mix about a teaspoon of white vinegar with any kind of milk, and then it kind of curdles and it gives the same flavor of buttermilk for these scones. So all right, so we'll show you how this begins. All right, so going to measure out our flour. So you can see I've got some flour in here. So 3 cups of flour. There's 1. 2. I'm at the tail end of my container of flour here. If I don't have enough, oh, I have just enough. There we go. All right, 3 cups of flour, and then 1/3 cup of sugar. And then this is the baking soda, the baking powder, and the salt. Put that in there. And the recipe says to mix it with a fork. So I'm going to do that. Mix it with a fork. And then the next part is the fun part. So you need 1½ sticks of butter. So it says to put them into small cubes, so I cut it up. And then you get to use your hands. And you want to use your hands to combine the flours, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, salt with the butter. And so you kind of do this with it. And this is the preferred method. Sometimes I think people might be uncomfortable getting their hands really messy like this, but this is a great way to make these. And it says to keep doing it until it is about the texture of cornmeal, and it's also okay if there are some like bigger chunks of butter. So I am going to keep doing this. See how I kind of break the butter apart with my fingers? This is why it's really important that our hands are clean, because we're touching this food. See that? Just take those pieces of butter, break them up. It's okay to have some big pieces, but you don't want a bunch. Okay. And then, look how dirty my hands are. So when I'm done with that, I'm going to need to wash my hands. At least just get all the flour and the butter off, right? It's very sticky. And then we're going to add my buttermilk. That's not really buttermilk, it's milk and vinegar. Same effect. And And you want to stir it, they say, until it is just moistened. So till it's mostly almost all wet, except the key here is you just don't want to over mix it. Then, so we're making chocolate chip scones, but you could make, if you wanted to put blueberries, you could do that. The original recipe calls for just using lemon zest or orange zest, which is the zest is the peel. You could do that, but I am not doing that because we're going to have chocolate chips. So I need to take a little bit of flour. Make sure your kitchen counter is really clean. And put this down. And then we take this. So you can either do what they call drop scones, but I like to do triangular scones because it's they're just more uniform. And I guess I don't like the messiness and uncertainty of drop scones. Although I like drop biscuits. Alright. Then, so I'm going to take some flour and put that flour on my hands and put it on here. And I do this. Yeah? Just sort of mixing it together. And then what I'm trying to do is make a circle. And I would say you probably want it to be about maybe 1.5 inches or so thick. And then I don't actually have chocolate chips. I have something called chunks. I didn't really want these, but that was all they had at the grocery. So take these, kind of add them like that. Look like they're hidden, don't they? It'll be like a surprise. You bite into it, be a piece of chocolate in there. There we go. Okay. And then take a big knife. Push it down a little bit. And then cut them like you cut a pie. Did you hear that noise? It's the chocolate. I think don't need that anymore. These are going to be pretty good sized. There we go. And then, rinse that flour off my hands. We're going to put these on a tray that I have over here. So if you wait right here, you'll see me put them on. And this is called parchment paper. And I like parchment paper because things don't stick to it. See? Triangles. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the sugar and sprinkle the tops of these with sugar. You could take melted butter and put the melted butter on first and then sprinkle it, but I didn't do that this time. And then your oven is set to 425 degrees. And we're going to take this and put it in the oven. And they cook for, it says, between 10 and 12 minutes. And so whenever something says 10 to 12, I usually check it at about 9 minutes just to make sure it won't burn. So we'll come back when these are done. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna get these out of the oven. And look at these. They look really, really good. So there they are. And I would usually let them sit on the tray for the baking sheet for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And then you will definitely want to eat them. Just make sure they're not too hot. Let me know if you end up making these. Thank you. Bye.